I have made contact with the rebels and all is proceeding as you wished, Darth Vader. First showing on the CBS network, it aired on television sets November 17th, 1978. In the Star Wars Holiday Special, Chewbacca and Han Solo attempt to visit the Wookiee homeworld to celebrate Life Day. They are then pursued by agents of the Galactic Empire who are searching for members of the Rebel Alliance on the very same planet. The Star Wars Holiday Special also marks the introduction of Chewbacca's family, characters that we never see again. However, despite its ill-fated ratings, the Star Wars Holiday Special also marks the introduction of long-standing fan favorite bounty hunter Boba Fett. Gentle Giant here has released for its holiday exclusive the 2018 Happy Holidays version of the Star Wars Holiday Special Boba Fett. So the first thing we'll do is figure out how tall the Boba Fett statue stands. I know what you're thinking. It should technically not be measured up to the top of his head. Instead, it should be measured right up to the very top of his tuning fork. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll stop the Ultra Measure-tron right there. There we go. And the tape measure tells us that the Boba Fett statue, not to the top of his head, but instead to the top of his weapon, stands at a very impressive 9.4 inches, or in centimeters, you would be looking at 24 centimeters exactly. To come included with the statue, you get yourself the Star Wars Happy Holidays 2018 from the folks over at Gentle Giant Limited. Nice little image there of the same statue that we have right here that we're going to be looking at in a second. We flip it around. I do have to stress this, though, very limited worldwide release. In fact, 300 to be exact. This one here shows 183 out of a possible 300. Nice little certificate of authenticity to have on display along with the statue. Speaking of along with the statue, Gentle Giant also includes this really neat enamel pin. You can see that it's got pretty much the same, not quite same pose of Boba Fett, because he's got the tuning fork actually in both of his hands. And you can also see the creature that he rides throughout the very short 10-minute episode or clip that makes up the Star Wars Holiday Special. Personally speaking, I think the best segment out of the entire variety-esque version of the special. On the back there, we've got 2018 Gentle Giant Limited, and it's also made in China. You can see that it has two pin backings, which you can take off, and you can easily attach it to a felt or a jacket if you so wish. Really neat, though, that they would include this as well. Some mild assembly is required when you get the statue out of packaging. Essentially, the only things you really need to add to Boba is his scope as well as his weapon. Now, ironically enough, they give you two of the scopes. Looking at them, they appear identical to one another, maybe except for some slight variation to the paint. They are the same length, and they also sit on the statue the exact same way. Let me go ahead and show you that right now. We'll go ahead and take the statue. Oh, before we do that, so let's flip it upside down. Gentle Giant underneath, Happy Holidays 2018. Again, out of the possible 300, this one is marked at 183. 4 felt feet underneath there as well to prevent any scratching when you have it on a surface. And let's proceed with go ahead and put the scope in place. You'll see that there's a magnet right there, and there's a magnet right here. Just very easily snaps into place. And I like that when Gentle Giant releases their pieces, 9 times out of 10, they are attached by magnets. It just makes things a whole lot easier than having to plug them into place. Again, I'm not sure why they would have given you a second one unless they just thought that in case it got damaged. If you immediately thought, well, maybe the other one is intended to go this way. Well, no, the shape is exactly the same. It won't really allow you to attach it this way. Both of them attach exactly the same way. And if you look at them, they are the same scope. Again, my only thought process is they probably gave you a secondary one just in case one of them happened to snap. Then the other thing that he comes included with is his weapon. Now, when Nelvana, the studio that was behind the 10-minute short, which as a personally soft spot for this Canadian, it was fantastic to know that Nelvana, a Toronto-based cartoon animation company, the same company that has made things like Care Bears, Beetlejuice, and various others, My Pet Monster, would have also been the ones that helmed the 10-minute short. Well, when they were given the description for what Boba Fett would look like, they were sort of given the task of being told, well, the weapon that he's going to wield is basically a tuning fork. And this is what they ended up designing it from. It's really neat because on the other end here, it kind of looks like the bottom of an electric guitar, which I believe Nelvana also was responsible for Heavy Metal, an earlier animated short, which often at times when I do watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, which it's not really few and far between, generally I'll go right to the animation clip, or I'll look up the animation clip where it's got the introduction of Boba Fett. And I always found that the animation was very, very similar to that of Heavy Metal. Anyways, I just kind of thought that was slightly hilarious that the bottom does look a little bit like a guitar. Anyways, it is attached the exact same way. You've got a magnet right here, and we'll go ahead and grab the statue. There's a magnet right on the inside of his forearm. Just snap that very quickly in place, and you've got yourself the finished statue. Something else that was rather interesting about Nelvana being the one that helmed the Star Wars animated short for the special was that they had also previously, in 1977, produced an animated feature for television called Cosmic Christmas. It was actually that special that caught George Lucas's attention, where George deemed Nelvana to be the best group to take on the animated responsibilities for the new television special. So it just goes to show. And if you've ever seen Cosmic Christmas, one classic that I watched as a kid, it also has very similar animated elements to what we would see eventually in the 78 release of the animated short in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Really, by far, it was the best thing about the Holiday Special, deemed very poorly by viewers and critics that watched the special. In the special, though, we had Boba Fett's first appearance, and you can see probably by looking at the statue, or if you've watched the 10-minute short, Boba Fett's colors are very slightly different than what we would see in the film. Now, in the film, he would have more like greens, and he would have beiges and whatnot. Here, he'd almost have similar color schemes to his father, Jango Fett. Primarily here with the mask, or the helmet that sits over top of his head. Painted beautifully here. One thing that continues to be a trend with the Gentle Giant releases is fantastic paintwork that they've added to their statues. And Boba Fett here certainly is no exception. I love the fact that he's got this sheen of black paint that's been added just to the opening slot, the visible slot for his mask. Other than that, it's more like a pastel purple making up the majority of his color scheme here. It also shares color schemes here in his gauntlets, which again in the film would be more like muted grays and dark colors like that. He certainly has a lot of popped color. A lot of the yellows here, something that also is specific to this character. He sort of almost starts picking up his own cult status, if you will, as like NES Jason, a variation to the color scheme, but a lot of people have started to pick up on Holiday Special Boba Fett. Some companies such as Sideshow have also released a color scheme in more in line with the Holiday Special Boba Fett. So it just goes to show that something that would be such a negatively received Christmas special would eventually adopt a character that would be so fan-loved for the rest of the Star Wars films, but also would adopt a specific color scheme that would now start finding its own popularity. We spin the statue around. You can see that he has his famous jetpack featured on the back, which is very much the same color scheme as the front plating here of his armor. Love that they've added these little scratch and weared areas there on the top of his armor. And even in the chest plate here, they've got a little bit of like dry brushing of gray added in there as well, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a rough exterior. Some oranges, some dark purples and blues make their way in there. Of course, you've got the very long, again, like tuning fork sort of weapon that he uses over the course of that film. And really, that's the last time he uses a weapon similar to this. It would have been neat if they had somehow incorporated that for a future Boba Fett appearance. One thing, of course, very prevalent is the fact that he has no bottom base to him. It also makes for the fact that, well, he has no lower torso, but it does make for a better display piece if you want to have, say, for example, this on a desk. It's small, and it's something that you could put out at Christmas time. One last thing we can also look at, too, is his blaster, his sidearm, if you will, attached to his sidearm. This also gives me a chance to showcase some of the great paint that they put also into the fingers as well as the palm of the hand. The blaster gets a very similar purple and gray treatment with some nice black accent added there as well. There's a lot of different depth and layers to this statue where you can kind of start looking at it, and there's all these little intricate details. Lots of pops of color, lots of fantastic sculpting. Something, again, you would expect to find with Gentle Giant. The only downside to this, if there was a downside, is the fact that it's of limited release. I can provide the links down below to Gentle Giant's website. There's also a couple of other sourced out sites you could probably find this, but unfortunately, with it being the holiday season, for the Boba Fett fan out there, maybe in your family or friends, being that this one is going to be a little bit more rarer to come by, once again, there's the card right there, you're only looking at 300. And that's not a whole lot for the holiday season, especially if you wanted to pick up this one for yourself. You know, it's somewhat ironic that we're having a look at the Gentle Giant Happy Holidays 2018 Star Wars Holiday Special Boba Fett statue. I say loudly. I don't know how I'm going to put that all in the title, but it's ironic that we're looking at this right now because 2 weeks ago, I decided to give it a go again. That is the Holiday Special of Star Wars. I popped in my DVD. No, it wasn't a retail released DVD. You won't find one. And I decided to give it a watch again. Maybe it wasn't as bad as what I remembered. It is as bad as what I remembered. The mixture of dance numbers, musical acts, and more feeling like a Carol Burnett variety special than a really true holiday Star Wars special, I can see why it soured many Star Wars fans. And that's also why George Lucas has buried the special. It's next to impossible to find, and you won't find it in retail releases, but God bless the age of the media, multimedia, social online media, because you can quite quickly find the special for yourself if you haven't seen it already. In fact, I think even YouTube has a copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special that somebody has posted along the way. You can watch it if you want. It's not very good. But at the very least, one of the best aspects of the special itself was the 10-minute animated segments featuring the first appearance of Boba Fett. It also comes from a Toronto company, Nelvana, which sort of resonates for me a little bit more of a soft spot whenever I watch that part. I may not watch all the holiday special, but at the very least, I'll watch the animated short. It resonates for me because it does feel like a lot of the older animated specials that they've done. Nelvana did a whole bunch of them, including the Cosmic Christmas in 1977. It is by far the best part of the Star Wars Holiday Special. The rest of the stuff, personally speaking, I think you could just dismiss altogether. But it was fun to see Boba Fett riding that sort of slug creature he does over the course of that 10 minutes of animation goodness. It would lead to, of course, Boba Fett being a fan favorite of the Star Wars universe of characters. And just think, it all came from an ill-fated holiday special. This goes to show. Gentle Giant has done a fantastic job of recreating the first appearance of Boba Fett here in statue form, and while we don't get all of Boba Fett, from the waist up at the very least, he is a spectacular looking sight. Limited, yes, but if you are a fan of Boba Fett, or if you have a special somebody who likes Boba Fett, and you have a little bit of time left to pick this up, maybe as a belated Christmas present, you might want to do yourself a favor, or the favor of someone who likes Boba Fett. Pick this one up for yourself, or pick it up for them. Maybe you might have to do as a late Christmas present, though. Today we were having a look at a really fantastic looking sculpted statue of Boba Fett in his original form from the folks over at Gentle Giant. This was the Star Wars Gentle Giant Limited Happy Holidays Star Wars Special Holiday Special 2018 Boba Fett. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get that all in the title. By the way, if you guys want to go back and have a look at some of my other Christmas related videos, or if you want to go back and have a look at some of my other Gentle Giant videos, there's playlists for both, if you could believe that. We're going to have a look at some more holiday stuff. I know we're kind of getting under the wire now. We only got a few days away before that big fat man climbs down the chimney, your chimney, and delivers presents. Or if you don't believe in Christmas, other things are happening. There's Hanukkah and stuff like that as well. Either way, guys, we're going to try to stuff the stockings, if you will, with a couple of more holiday-themed videos. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, stay tuned. We're still going to do it for what little time there's left. I might even do some belated Christmas videos after Christmas that you guys can still get a gander at if you are still in the festive spirit. Either way, guys, as always, thanks for watching, as you always do. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button down below. That is also crucial. That will guarantee you that when new videos are coming to this channel, you'll never miss out. See you guys next time.